Okay, I tend to do this. I'll make a couple of videos in short concession. I just thought maybe you might be curious how everyday life is, you know? Is it much different from where you are? So I'll just show you. It's like Sunday afternoon here. So I'm just gonna have a lazy Sunday with my wife and daughter. So we're just here in the suburbs. It's just a suburb. It's like a little mall. I just want to shoot across the road here to get something to eat, and then we're just going to head down to the park and have a little sort of picnic. So I'll show you. Of course, every part of the city is different. If you go into the main CBD part of the city, it's pretty chaotic. Got people everywhere, but that's the same in any city in the world. Suburbs are always much quieter. I'm just in KFC. I don't normally eat this sort of junk, KFC, McDonald's, or anything like that. And actually, it's overpriced. I'll just show you. See there, you can get like a combo, right? Like a 59 kwai. So that's a combo for two people. Yeah, I know. What you know? So for 59 kwai, you can normally go to a normal Chinese restaurant and feed two people with rice, vegetable, a couple of meat dishes. Now, another thing is, generally nowhere takes cash anymore. We just use our phones to pay. It's pretty rare you'll find any, especially fast food place, that'll take cash. So you need to, usually you'll just use the app to order. And if you can't speak Chinese, you'll find it difficult in a lot of places. If you went to Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Chongqing, these places are a bit more foreign friendly. But just to be aware, have a good translation app on your phone. Got my food. Strapped the little one in. Got the little furry friend. And we just need to head through this tiny little plaza here on the other side. We'll be where we need to go. I'll put you on time lapse. If you do ever come to China, maybe go to Luckin Coffee. Their coffee's actually quite good and much cheaper than Starbucks. Starbucks is so overpriced here, so overrated. I don't know why people drink it. And see this, Louis, right? That's basically how you say it. It's like exactly like 7-Eleven. So again, these sort of places are all pretty much the same price for the convenience sort of stores. But yeah, the coffee places and stuff like that. Yeah, try to avoid the foreign brands if you can. Not to be patriotic to China, just because they take advantage of people who don't know and overprice everything. I grabbed myself a couple of drinks and we'll head on. I might just cruise along. I might just try to give you a bit of helpful information if you come here. So when you go to a lot of shops, just pay attention, especially the convenience shops. They'll always have lots of discounts. Buy one, get one free, or 50% off the second purchase, things like that. And because everything's in Chinese, I really recommend that if you ever do come here, you must have some translation apps. Now, you definitely want WeChat if you come to China. It's very useful because it's used for nearly all payment. And besides that, it has a good translation app built into it. And if not, just use like your normal phone app. It's pretty good. So I'll just quickly put you on time lapse and catch up with the family. One new thing you would find if you come here is their parks and their gardens are immaculately kept. It's very, very clean. And I'll just speak for this city. This city is inundated with parks and public areas. They really want the people to have a nice mental space. And because everyone lives in a big city, people want to get out and relax. So it's Sunday today. The weather's nice. We're in winter. but it's about 22 degrees here. I'm in the east part of China. It's been about 14 for the last couple of weeks. So families like to come down, have little picnics and just walk in general. Chinese people love walking, they love exercising, like this lady here, getting right into it. So if you do come to China, be prepared to walk. A lot of these parks now, they have all these recreation zones for anyone who's interested in it. So it's a mini soccer one. They're all over the city. Soccer is actually becoming a little bit popular here now. In general, for the kids and teenagers, normally basketball is the preferred sport, for preferred team sport, anyway, put it that way. Then of course, you know, a lot of kids play badminton. Badminton's probably China's #1 pastime. So like I said earlier when I was in KFC, avoid those places if you can. Well, not if you can, just avoid them in general. There was a time when the Chinese franchises, like the Chinese versions of Burger King or KFC and things like that, there was a big gap between the quality of food, but it's not so apparent now. And in general, you're going to get something that's quite tasty and at half the price. So yeah, like I definitely would recommend not going to McDonald's or KFC like I did. It makes me seem like a bit of a hypocrite. Just go to a normal burger shop. Put it this way, you go to a normal burger shop, you get a proper burger made with proper mince at probably a third of the cost. So that's my advice if you come here. If you ever go somewhere and you do have the language barrier, just look for some young person. They might be able to help you out. Chinese people are very friendly, very hospitable. And a lot of the times, if people probably saw you were having trouble, they'd just come up and try to help you out anyway. And use the public transport as much as you can, because it's very cheap and very efficient and very clean and safe. So I recommend that come to a Chinese city, just use the public transport. No need to really use taxis. You can use like Didi. Like Didi's a bit like Uber. I can't remember, is it Uber? What you have in other countries? I haven't been home for that many years. I don't even know what they have anymore. It's like a share ride, but you would have problems using that app because it's in Chinese. You could just use a taxi. Taxis are very cheap here. Most cities, it's like a 10 kwai. I always say kwai. Kwai means renminbi. Okay, Chinese renminbi, but in China, people don't say yuan or renminbi. They generally say kwai. So for taxis, it's about 10 kwai. That's the surcharge, and then I think in general it's every 3 kilometers you need to pay like the equivalent of 50 cents Chinese. So taxis are extremely cheap as well. And if you watched my video just before this one, I went to a Japanese restaurant. You go to any large shopping mall or anything like that, they have all those style restaurants. They're like a lot of buffets, or a lot of them, or you can eat off the menu, like a la carte style, but or you can order and eat. For a mid-range place, you're looking at about 200 kwai per person. If you're on a budget, you can just go to some like small Chinese buffet place where normally one person to have a really good meal, maybe 4 different dishes, around 30 kwai, which would be what, $4 US, I'm guessing. Food is very cheap here. Actually, life is very cheap here. Your phone, your internet, for the internet, home internet, unlimited, 100 megabyte per second, about 800 kwai. So what's that? Just about 800 kwai. What would that be? 110 US for your phone. Again, it's even cheaper. I don't even know what it is, to tell you the truth. Your water, electricity, all the necessities. Basically, you don't pay anything. Your water and gas for a year, maybe 10 US. Electricity is a little bit expensive. In general, about $50 a month, maybe, depending, of course, how big your apartment is and how much electricity you consume. Petrol for your car, that's expensive, but that's expensive everywhere in the world. And that's about it. But you wouldn't need any of that stuff if you come here, because you'd be staying in a hotel. And I recommend staying in a 5-star hotel. They're very cheap here. Generally, you can stay in most 5-star hotels for between 90 to, let's say, $200 US, depending on how big a room you want and what sort of amenities you want. I always recommend you stay in like the deluxe suites, where they might cost you a little bit in the initial purchase, but they have the executive lounge for the people usually on the 20 to 25th floors, and you get all free breakfast, free lunch, free dinner, plus all drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic. So that's my tip. If you travel, not only here to China but anywhere in the world, you definitely want to be doing that if your budget allows. Okay, arrived at our destination. So we often come here. It's only like a 5-minute drive from where I live. Nice and peaceful. Usually, because it's winter now, all the leaves have obviously fallen off the trees. Usually it'd be nice and lush and green, and usually the grass would be really, really green. But again, winter's dry in this part of China. You see that building there? That's a library. The richest man of the city built it for the citizens of the city. Nice of him, wasn't it? It's quite a nice library, actually. There you go. It's a short look at how people live in China. Probably a lot different to what you would think. You know, we always see, when we see China, we always see Shanghai and like I mentioned before, Chongqing and Beijing, Guangzhou, all these big cities, right? The hustle and bustle of the urban life. But there's a lot more to China than that. China's got some amazing, beautiful places, actually. Scenic places in the mountains and the rivers, if you want to venture out of the normal tourist sort of traps. But you need to be prepared, because language is a barrier. Now, I'm lucky enough, my wife's Chinese. My Chinese is quite poor, to be honest, but suffice to communicate for daily life. But there could be a struggle for people who visit here. And be aware that now, because they're going into a cashless society, you basically need your phone to pay for most stuff. There are ways around everything, but just be aware of that. So, probably bored to death, sick of me talking. So, until the next time, take care and get outside and enjoy your life, instead of looking at people like me enjoying their life. Take care.